Hi there, this is Teri from stampingmagic.com. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is this really sweet little Easter treat holder. I used the Best Bunny stamp set and the coordinating punch, and also the butterfly duet punch. The paper I've used is from the Share What You Love specialty pack, and it's just sized large enough to hold one of the smaller Easter eggs like the Cadbury's cream eggs. So let's get started. I'm starting with a piece of Night of Navy cardstock measuring 2 3/4 inches squared. Now I want to score at 1/2 inch on all sides, but this is a bit awkward when you're trying to score so close to that raised left hand edge. So instead I'm going to score at 2 1/4 inches on all sides, and this will give you the same result. Now I have a strip of Tranquil Textures Designer Series paper. This measures 8 1/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. And I'm going to score this at 3/4 of an inch, 2 3/4, 3 1/4, 5, 5 1/2, and 7 1/2. I'm going to mark the center of that square with a pencil, and then I'm going to use that mark to help me center the 1 1/4 inch circle punch and punch out a circle. And if this isn't exact, don't worry, it's only to create a circle for your egg to sit in. I'm going to create a little window in the treat holder, and I'm using one of the layering ovals to do this, the smallest one in the set. Now on your strip of Designer Series paper, your first section measures 3/4 of an inch deep, and then you have a larger section underneath that. It's the same on both sides, so it doesn't matter which one you use, and it's the second section that you want to create the window in. For cutting this on your big shot, it's just a standard sandwich, so your platform, your thin die adapter, and then an acrylic plate, then your Designer Series paper with the die on top. Now the die will only just fit between those score lines, so you just want to center it as best you can. Of course you could use your magnetic platform if you wish, and then run it through the big shot. Now if you haven't got these dies, you could use any punch or any other shaped die that you do have. Now I want to do a little cutting to create the tray for the egg, and I want to create a tab on each corner of this tray piece. So all I'm doing is doing a straight cut up the score line, and then I'm notching either side of the tab that I've created. So a straight cut up the score line, and then just notch both sides of that tab. I'm then going to fold on all the score lines and use my bone folder for the card, and also fold the Designer Series paper on the score lines. I'm now going to mark the position for the little thread handle, and you want to do this on the first section, so the section before the one where you created the window. And I'm just doing it by eye and attempting to get it straight. So you want to make a mark on either side. To finish off the tray, all you need to do is add glue to the tabs and then stick them to the adjacent side piece, and this creates your shape. You can then glue the tray onto your designer series paper. Now you want to add glue to one of the sides and then position this on the third section. So this is the section underneath the window, and make sure you've got your tray up the right way when you do this. After you've given it just a few seconds to dry, you can add glue to the opposite end and then you can bring the designer series paper round and glue that in place. You want to make sure that it's pulled quite tight because you don't want the bottom sagging. So I'm just holding it in place until that glue takes. I'm then going to add glue to the back top piece and then position the front top piece, the one I marked with the pencil earlier on top of that. I'm then going to make the holes using the handheld 1/8 of an inch punch. You could use any thread or twine to make the handle. I've got some of the braided linen trim here that I'm going to use, and you need about 9 inches. So I'm just threading the ends through those holes I created, and then I'll pull them to one side and just knot them. To secure the egg inside the treat holder, all I do is add a dimensional down onto the base through that circle hole, remove the backing and then position the egg and then just give it a little press down, and this just holds it sufficiently so it doesn't fall out. This is what the Best Bunny stamp set looks like. I'm using the larger bunny image. I'm going to stamp with Memento Tuxedo Black ink because I'm going to colour with my stamping blends. I need to stamp the body, the tail, the little paws, the bow tie, and of course the head with the face. I'm going to start with my crumb cake Stampin' Blends markers, and I'm using the light one first, and I'm colouring in all the body apart from the tummy. Once I've done that, I'll switch to the dark and just add a few shadows or dark areas. Then I'm going to switch back to the light and blend these together. Now I'm going to do exactly the same for the head. So initially I'm going in with the light crumb cake, and I'm covering everything apart from the little nose and the inside of the ears. And then I'm just going to add a little of the dark, mostly around the edge of the face. And then I will switch back to the light marker and blend the two shades together so there's no harsh lines anywhere. Now I've switched to the light flirty flamingo, and I'm going to fill in the ears, that little nose, and also add a little colour to the cheeks. Then I'm just going to go around the edge of the tummy and the tail with the light balmy blue. The paws will also be in the light and dark crumb cake. And then I'm going to use the Night of Navy light and dark for the little bow tie. I use the coordinating bunny builder punch to punch everything out apart from the bow tie that needs to be hand cut. I'm creating the butterfly using the butterfly duet punch, and you need to punch out one from our cardstock vellum and also another from our Night of Navy card. I'm going to layer these two pieces together just by using a glue dot, and all I've done is roll it up into a little sausage shape and added it to the Night of Navy one, and then pressed the vellum one on top. And then I can finish it off by adding 3 of our basic pearls. Now for the bunny, I'm going to add his bow tie first of all. And then I'm going to position the head. Now I'm just adding a thin line of glue at the bottom of his head. And then I'm going to add a little glue to one side of the tail and position that. And then finally I'm going to add some small pieces of dimensional to the paws, remove the backings and position those. Now when you position the bunny onto the holder, you just want a thin line of glue at the bottom, and then you want a tiny bit of glue on the left hand side, just on the bunny's cheek and on his ear. And then position the base of the bunny first of all. Make sure that's glue has taken, and then you can just press him back and glue his cheek and his ear, and he'll be nice and secure. And then for the butterfly, you just need another dot of glue and position that at the top. And that's it, the treat holder's complete. And here's my original one. Now I have actually made quite a few of these now. Here's another using the Tranquil Textures papers. And of course, if you decide that this is too much work and you've got a lot to do, you would save a lot of time by using the smaller image and perhaps just punching him out with a circle punch. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.